Hey guys, Fletch Football Observer here, bringing you another Fletch Talks video, and this video is concerning what I believe to be the 5 biggest free transfers for the upcoming transfer window. Obviously, with the insanity of 2020, the current 2019-2020 seasons for a lot of leagues are still ongoing, but what's to follow is set to be the transfer window preparing teams for the next season. And a key part of that for this year may be the addition of free transfers, which of course are players who have allowed their contracts with their current clubs to expire and they are soon to be considered free agents. So, without further ado, let's begin. Number 5, Ryan Fraser. Yes, we're kicking off this list with Bournemouth's Ryan Fraser, who signed for the Cherries back in 2013 from Scottish club Aberdeen for a fee believed to be around £450,000. The 26-year-old Scottish winger was there for Bournemouth's rise to the Premier League. However, he was loaned out when Bournemouth did reach England's top tier division when he was loaned out to Ipswich for the 2015-16 season, but did return for the Cherries and has there to the present day. He made 28 league appearances this season, scoring 1 goal and 4 assists, which when you compare to last season was a huge drop-off, as the winger made 38 appearances for Bournemouth last season, scoring 7 goals and assisting 14 times. And it was actually those stats that caused a lot of talk and a lot of rumours to spiral about the Bournemouth winger, with a move away from the Vitality Stadium last summer. However, it was just talk, nothing really materialised. And Fraser even said this season that maybe the talk of a move away from Bournemouth affected his performances this season, which is why he hasn't quite hit the standards that he set from the last campaign. Where is he likely to end up? Well, it's being heavily rumoured that there are a lot of interested Premier League clubs that are after his signature. It looks like the Premier League is his likely destination. It just won't be with Bournemouth, regardless of where obviously Bournemouth end up at the end of this season. There is a lot of talk that Tottenham are interested. There's also talk that West Ham, Crystal Palace, Everton and even Watford are also rumoured in snapping up the 26-year-old signature. Number 4, Adam Lallana. Now, if you were a member of the Southampton squad around the 2014 kind of era, and you made a big enough name for yourself, you may have attracted the interest of Liverpool Football Club. That was of course the ongoing joke at the time, because there were several key players in the Southampton squad that had attracted the eye of Liverpool, and they were linked with a move to Anfield, and on a few occasions it paid off and actually did materialise. And one of them moves was for one Adam Lallana. Lallana of course made the move from Southampton to Liverpool back in 2014 for a fee believed to be in the region of £25 million. And of course back then it was obviously a big deal because Lallana had been there since he was a young player and had obviously been a vocal point and part of the furniture, so to speak, of seeing Southampton's rise through the divisions over the years. Fast forward to the present day though, and the 32-year-old English midfielder is now considered a bit of a squad player by his current club Liverpool. This season alone he's made 15 league appearances and has scored 1 goal and has also assisted only once, making a lot of appearances from the substitutes bench. Which is a big deal because he's a player with bags of Premier League experience and he's a good and technical player. He's nice and tidy on the ball, that kind of thing. So he probably still has a lot to offer, and he's still 32 of course. He's still got a good couple of years or so before he may actually begin considering retirement. For a lot of his early career at the Reds, he was mainly played as a winger, so he's quite versatile in that respect, but it's really the centre of midfield in which he can heavily influence the game. And of course, when Liverpool transferred from Brendan Rodgers to Jurgen Klopp, he was brought in from the wing position and became more and more of a central midfielder. Of course, with injuries hindering his Anfield career, and obviously with the transfers of other midfielders that came into Anfield, he kind of fell down the pecking order a little bit. So it was very difficult for him to get back into the team once his injuries had cleared up. But it seems that he's on his way out the door at Anfield, and the likelihood is that he's going to stay in the Premier League And there's been a lot of rumours as to where he could go. A return to Southampton could be one of a possible number of scenarios here. A return to Southampton could be on the cards. However, there's also rumoured interest from the likes of Arsenal and Leicester as well. So this really makes Lallana one to watch going into this summer. Number 3, Edinson Cavani. Back in 2013, the mega-rich PSG Paris Saint-Germain managed to tempt Napoli into selling them their top striker, Edinson Cavani, for a fee believed to be in the region of £60 million. Fast forward to the present day, however, and it looks like the 33-year-old's 7-year stay with the French club is coming to an end. The Uruguayan striker has made 14 league appearances for the French club this season, scoring 4 goals and assisting twice in that time for the French league champions. Of course, given the current situation and global pandemic, the governing body of French football had decided to end the season early, crowning PSG as champions in the process. Over the years, Edinson Cavani has proven to be a ruthless and lethal goal scorer, something that is set to be a worthy addition to any club that snaps up his signature. And of course, despite his age of 33, he seems to have a few years left still within him. Over the past year though, for PSG's side, what forced him out of the club seems to be the addition of Mauro Icardi to the French league champions ranks. It seems to be a sort of age thing. Cavani was getting on in years, PSG needed some sort of replacement, and of course Icardi was on loan from Inter Milan last summer, but of course over time that move has now been made permanent, and it seemed fit that Cavani is set to be out the door. Injuries of course haven't helped either, but when he is fit, like I say, he is a proven and prolific goal scorer. Where will he go next? Well, there is rumoured interest from the Premier League, but there is also rumoured interest from Italy. A return to Serie A could be on the cards for the Uruguayan striker. And in saying that Mauro Icardi left Inter Milan to join PSG, could we see a sort of swap deal with Cavani going back the other way? Number 2, Willian. Back in 2013, Willian was the subject of a bit of a tug-of-war between 2 London clubs that were after his signature. One, of course, was Chelsea, and the other was Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, at the time, it looked like Willian was going to become a Tottenham player until Chelsea's last-minute bid, and in the end, Chelsea was his destination. And not only were we introduced to Willian in the Premier League for the first time that year, but we were also introduced to the Chelsea supporters singing a song about this moment in history, about Willian, at the expense of Tottenham, who had missed out on this signing. Of course, 7 years on, and the 31-year-old is still playing his trade at Chelsea, but it does look like he is out the door this summer of Stamford Bridge. This season, the Brazilian winger has made 29 league appearances, scoring 5 times and assisting also 5 times. And he currently possesses bags of experience under his belt. He's a proven set-piece taker. And for a winger, he is a bit of a workhorse. He's full of energy, tracking back and doing all the sort of defensive duties. So he still has a lot to offer, despite obviously being 31 years of age. There is a problem though, and it is that I believe him to be a very hot and cold sort of player. When he plays bad, he stands out. But when he plays good, he's normally the vocal point behind a very good all-round team performance, and normally Chelsea win because of that. So it is a bit of a gamble, this one, I will admit. Now, there is one club that's been heavily linked with his signature, and that is Manchester United, which would obviously mean he is to remain in the Premier League. But it will be interesting to see where he goes from here. He has a lot of interest rumoured from around Europe, and of course there is a possibility with him being Brazilian that he could also return to Brazil, which is also a factor we should put in there somewhere. But of course, we have no idea yet. He seems to be very focused on seeing out the remainder of the season with Chelsea, which is admirable. So we'll just have to see where this one goes. And finally, number 1, Mario Götze. If you follow the career of Mario Götze, you'll know it's been a bit of a roller coaster for him. Breaking through at the youth academy of Borussia Dortmund, Götze was being touted as the next big thing, and for a while it looked like he was going to be reaching all the goals that people were setting for him. That was until he signed for Bayern Munich in 2013. He made the switch from Dortmund to Munich in 2013 and then came back 3 years later, but he wasn't the same player. 28 years old now, the German playmaker is a quality player still with a lot of experience for his age, and maybe a lot of that is based on reputation, but he is still a quality player in my eyes nonetheless. And of course, he has a long list of achievements, accomplishments and accolades to his name, of course, including winning the World Cup with Germany in 2014, in which he scored the winner in the final. But from being on top of the world before then to now, he failed to remain there, hitting a bit of a decline during his time at Bayern Munich under Pep Guardiola. Before then, though, he was quite the player. He was phenomenal in Dortmund's rise in the Bundesliga and in their attempt to overthrow what was at the time a very formidable Bayern Munich side. Of course, then he made the switch, he came back, he wasn't the same player. But now it seems as though Dortmund and Goetze have both come to this mutual decision of which he is to leave the club this summer. Where will he go next? Well, there is rumoured interest from a lot of different clubs. It is unknown where his future lies, but there are said to be a lot of options left open for the German star. Staying in Germany could be one of them. The likes of Hertha Berlin and Bayer Leverkusen are apparently interested in his signature. He could also test himself in the Premier League, something that I have been wanting to happen for a while. And it does seem that if he is to go to the Premier League, a reunion with Jurgen Klopp could be on the cards, with Liverpool said to be interested in signing him. Or a bit of a wild card option here, but he could branch out to somewhere like America. Maybe he's looking for a payday, or maybe he's looking to move somewhere different and somewhere that will be a bit more of a different challenge. I wouldn't say it would be a massive challenge, but it would be a bit more of a different challenge in certain respects. So maybe America could be his next destination. Either way, with a lot of options on the table, it does seem that this is the free transfer to keep your eyes on this summer. But of course, this is just one man's thoughts and one man's opinions on this particular topic. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know where you guys think all of these players on this list will end up this summer. I want to know if you think that I've missed anyone off, and if so, where will they go in the upcoming transfer window? All thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever will be greatly appreciated for me to read in the comment section below. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things will be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch the Football Observer. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video.